Welcome to Mondays with Max. Hello, everybody. Sunflower Mama says, "Why are you yelling?" Okay, I'll be quieter. How's that? Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. Got a bunch of things to go through tonight. I do apologize up front because I went from top chat to live chat and it cut off a whole bunch of people at the top. But I do remember Y2K Anonymous was first and Second TL was second. So thank you guys. And of course, the top person up here is being cut off, which I believe was Mining Mouse. So welcome, Mining Mouse. Golden Wolf, thank you for being here. Rusky's Crypto Cave, Traveler's Travels, Schneids, Steven Cicero, Enoch Duff, Automatic Beats. Let's see, Cincy Miner. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. Canadian Miner, Lester Dog C57. Joker Miner, well, okay, by popular demand, live reactions was turned off because that heart covers up the darn latest thing. So you can't see what somebody wrote. It's a pain. It's a real pain. Anyway, Chunk Danger. Wait a minute. He changed his number. Did you change your number, Chuck Danger? Or are you a different Chuck Danger? Anyway, Integra Guy 041, he did not change his number. Gaming with Smoking Dan. Red Panda's here. Welcome, sir. Chum Change. Holy cow. Both of them here. Well, I think we may have gone into a different dimension. Galaxy 9 Synthesis. Let's see. Who else? Anon Doge. Haven't remember seeing you here before. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Brian Hollywood. Thank you for being here. Team JFK. Geek of all trades. Good to see you, Goat. Diabetic Dave. Again, looks like another new person. Appreciate you guys being here. Soupy. Kyle Rosa. Dakota Miner. And I think that Goat Band. Yes, gave me a Smoky Dan. I think hell has frozen over. Chum Change said, remember the "Are you ready for some football?" Monday Night Football anthem. That's the energy Max just had at the beginning of the stream. Sunflower Mama took him back down to earth real quick. Yeah. Try and have, a little bit of PP energy, like good old DJ Minds. I will never match him. Nobody can, but try to at least do a little bit of energy in here, even though it is a late night stream. So hope you guys are all having a good start to your week. I am having a good start to my week. Let me see what people tagged me in already. Schneid's best time is whenever you...
There's no N in it.
Oh, Shides. Oops. Sorry. Best time is whenever you go live. I miss 90% of your streams, but replay them later in the week. You do you. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. But we'll see. I mean, I could go earlier. I didn't used to be able to go earlier because I always got out of work late. But lately, I've been actually be able to get out of work at a very decent time where I could go earlier. Does give me a lot of time to kind of go over things and research things and things like that. So tonight I do have a lot of things planned. So we'll see how long it goes. A lot of it revolving around the Ellipal Titan 2.0 release. Go over that. Let's see who else. Let's go, you the man. Thank you, sir. Let's see what else. Oh gosh, how could I have missed Ildemaro Osechas? So thank you, sir, for being here. Welcome from Venezuela. Oh yeah, there's no N in my name. Sorry. What was that? I think I've seen him before, but maybe not. Kia Enigma Adventures, welcome. And let's see, who else? Gaming with Smoky Dan, learn to read or get them glasses. Yeah, so I'm 55 years old and I don't need glasses. Yes, sometimes it is a little hard to read things that are very close up. That's what happens when you get a bit older. Ted, yeah, we know your research. It's the back of your eyelids after work. I usually get in about a half-hour power nap when I get home from work. It's pretty much I get home from work, take a half-hour power nap, and then the wife has dinner ready. I eat, and then I stay awake. So yeah. Why didn't I get the slick hair on our meetup? Because I was in the car for a long period of time. That's why. No. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's because no, I see there's two me's. There's the one that has like the hat or the one that I wear to work. So weekend, I'm just a little bit more casual on the weekend. No Joker Miner. Maybe that's you that's that old, but I am not that old. All righty. And what did Retro Mike say? I digs, I feel attacked. How does he feel attacked? Oh, got it. Sorry. I forgot. Yes, because you have the vision problems. Yeah, I consider myself very lucky. Now, the thing is I am colorblind. So, hey, take the good with the bad. I don't know any better. Everybody says, how do you see if you're colorblind? Well, how do you see? Nobody can actually be in somebody else's head to see exactly how they see. Anyway, that's kind of a deep little discussion that we won't get into tonight. Living life like an antique. Nice. All right. Okay, I see how it's going to be tonight. You guys are all going to be trolling me all night long. Okay, got it. All right. Well, what was I going to go over first? Oh, I was going to go over my week. So this previous week. So obviously you've heard me talk a lot about Vast and how great it is, and it is until your internet goes bad or you lose power. I didn't lose power this week, but I did have issues with my internet that appeared to not have anything to do with what was going on in my house, because I didn't change anything. Everything else seemed fine. Could actually do a speed test, but it kept saying, literally it'd be going through a speed test and it would start, it would be going, and then there'd be a message that would come up saying no connection found. And then it would go away and the speed test would continue. And it would come up again and then it would continue. So there was something going on, and I'm not sure what. But what it ended up coming out to be, there was something wrong with the gateway, and there was a not the best setting that I could have had on the router. So thanks to King for helping me out with that, and got all that straightened out. But yeah, replaced the guy came out, replaced the gateway, and we made a little change on the router, and voila, everything is back to normal. And even though last week still made over 100 gross on Vast, so not complaining. This week I'm on track to do about 170, something like that. So I have 12 GPUs on it. So one 4090, three 3090s, six 3060s, a 4070, and a 3070. I think that's all of them. Geek of all trades gets cleaned up for chump change money, basically for the Saturday Night Live stream, but looks like a goblin from the Walk of Shame on my video. I feel the love, man. Well, you did it at early in the morning, man. It's a weekend day. I get caught up on sleep on Friday nights. So, man, I rolled out of bed, got downstairs, got a cup of coffee. You can hear by the way I was talking that you can tell I just woke up. So, but hey, I don't stay up as late as other YouTubers do and then wake up at like 1 p.m. So I don't at least do that. Can someone give me a timestamp when Vast stops? Well, I actually don't have Vast on the. When you're gonna stop talking. I know what he meant. When I don't actually have Vast on the agenda tonight, but somebody asked me about it. So anyway, so that question was, have they had any issues with storage and running out of storage? I haven't. So I'm not really sure what to tell you on that. Now, I typically will have no less than, 800-900 gig. And the later ones I did actually were like 1.2 1.7 terabytes. So yeah, I guess your mileage may vary, but I have not had that issue, so I can't really comment on it. I will say that if you go on the VAST website or go to the VAST Discord, they are very good sources for getting some help. So, all right. Geek of all trades, if you run out of storage, prune the Docker, super easy to do. I think that's a, either if you can do it in a short, that'd be a great short to do. Goat. All righty. Let's see. What did I want to go over? I wanted to go over that first, and I was going to do something else first before I got into the Ellipal Titan 2.0. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight was 4090's. There was a video that came out last week from Jay's 2 cents, basically seeing exactly the same thing that I was seeing. Was 4090's were disappearing like very quickly. If you look for them on Best Buy, they're gone. There are no 4090's except for some laptop like external GPU thing that they have, which is really, I believe, a 4080. It's like a 4090 mobile, basically. So it's really like a 4080. But yeah, all of them are gone. And he was theorizing about a number of different reasons why that may be the case. There are definitely a couple things that I agree with him. It's possible because the AD102 die is what the 4090 is made out of. And right now, it's the only thing on the market for the RTX 4000 series that uses that die. But there are a couple different things that do use that die currently, which all of them are AI related. And unless you've been living in a hole, AI is NVIDIA's bread and butter, and it's what's driving all of its profits. So the L40, the L40S, as well as a number of other GPUs all use that AD102. Now they use different variations, but I assume that it's the same like node that runs it. Erted said, Jay totally missed saying they are being diverted to China because of the embargo. That's possible. I'm not sure if there was enough time to actually do that, but if that's the case, then we should start seeing them now come back into the stores or very shortly. So I guess once that part of it's played out, will we see more 4090's? I don't think so. I really don't. So anyway, so that's part of it, is the fact that they're diverting more of those resources towards their profit makers. I mean, NVIDIA, every company is driven by profit. Others are driven not just by profit, but on what they're passionate about. NVIDIA has made it very clear they are not passionate about gamers. They're passionate about money. And that's it. They're money driven. That's it. And right now, where's their money coming from? Their money is absolutely coming from AI and everything having to do with AI. And if you're in their shoes, would you be doing the same thing? Probably, actually, because they realize that this could be a short-lived opportunity, and they are at the top of the pyramid as far as who is everybody looking to get product from. It's pretty much just NVIDIA, and they want to take advantage of that for as long as they can and reinvest resources into making sure they stay on top of that. So I'm kind of curious to see how NVIDIA continues from this point on. If the gamer GPUs happen as a, almost like by accident, like, oh yeah, we'll just give them this chip and we'll configure this and boom, now you have a gamer GPU. I think really what they're going to be doing is they're going to be developing for AI, and the AI GPUs are going to become gamer GPUs just by changing a few things. That's my impression. So there's that. The other part of it is that the rumor is that there's going to be a 4080 Super or 4080 Ti, depending on what they call it, which will also be using the AD102. And that's going to have, rumor is it's supposed to have 20 gigabytes of VRAM. So pretty darn close to the 4090, but possibly at a lower price, possibly at the same price as the 4090, because again, NVIDIA could just jack up prices again. So we'll see where this goes. But I mean, you can go to Best Buy. I went to my local Micro Center. They had 3 4090s left. That was it. They were all the Gigabyte 4090. There was another place I looked that had some Zotac. Oh, it was Newegg. Had just a couple of Zotacs left. So, and when I'm talking about that, I'm talking strictly about the ones that Newegg is selling. Right now, if anybody can get a hold of them, I mean, I'm kind of thinking, okay, great. I got a 4090 in my basement that I'm using for VAST, and I'll wait a couple of months. Maybe, I bought it for 1,800 or so. Yeah, if I could sell it for $3,000, yeah, I'd probably sell it for $3,000 and make a quick buck on it. I don't know. That's just me. And but that, I'm thinking anybody who's got 4090s right now is in pretty good shape to make an early buck on the AI bull run. And we haven't even gotten into the crypto bull run yet. Gaming with Smoky Dan says, thinking that with two power, that's true. There's also the power connector issue where they could have been doing a transition, and the 4090 is the one that had the most problems, the most risk of catching fire as a result of that power connector. So that could be part of it as well. It's possible. I just don't think so. I really don't think so. It should not take that much to retool with that different part. The only other thing I can think of is that maybe they just decided to stop making them because it was too risky, because people can't be trusted to take extra care with those cables. I know with my 4090, there is no strain on that cable at all, and I made sure that thing is seated all the way. So I'm not really concerned about it. But obviously, if you're putting it in a case and you're bending it, yeah, then you're going to be putting some strain on that connector and leading to higher risk. But good point. That was another thing Jay had mentioned as well. So there certainly are a number of reasons why there are no 4090s. I still think the simplest answer is the right answer, and time will only tell if truly the 4090s are pretty much gone at this point, and that there's much more AD102s going to 4080 Supers or TIs instead. So we'll see. We shall see. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Give me a Smoky Dan says, yeah, it was a guy repairing about 100 a week. Wow. That's a lot. It was on the latest Gamer Meld video. Oh, you know what? I will have to watch that. I saw it pop up about the 5090. I don't know if that was a comment that you had made earlier, Give Me a Smoky Dan. But yeah, I saw that there was a video you put out about the 5090. So that's another thing I thought could the 5090 be that close to coming out? I didn't think so. That would be really early in the cycle. So Ivan, yes, the 4080s are using the 103, but from what I read, the 4080 Supers or TIs were going to use the AD102. And that's what Jay had actually mentioned in his video. But again, they're all rumors at this point, as far as what's exactly going to be in those Supers. But that was the rumor that I saw. So we'll see. All in 5050 ITX retro mic. Okay, well, let's get started on the Ellipal. So I have never had a hardware wallet, and I've been very fortunate that I haven't had any issues. Everybody can be hacked if you're not careful, or if you have your crypto in a place that is less secure. Having your crypto in, let's say, Coinbase versus, I don't know, shall we say, a lesser known exchange. A lesser known exchange is probably going to be more subject, or more, not subject, but more risky. Could be hacked more easily just because of fewer resources. So obviously you want to be really, really careful with your crypto. So at the end of the summer, this was like July, I had started doing some research into wallets and looked into a number of them, and really came down to the fact that I really liked what the Ellipal had to offer. What did I like about it? I liked the fact that it was an air gap solution. I liked the fact that you didn't have like something NFC or Bluetooth or USB that communicated with anything else that could be intercepted. The likelihood, I'm sure, is remote, but what's even more remote is not having that communication at all. So I liked that it was an air gap solution. Also liked that it had a secure chip in it. The fact that it had a PIN code that you put in for each transaction, or each outgoing transaction. So there were a bunch of things I really, really liked about it. So I reached out and said, hey, would really like to take a look at your hardware wallet. Did some research, really liked it. Would you be willing to send me one? And they said, well, funny you should mention that. We got a new product coming out soon. Yes, we'd love to send you one. So that's basically how I came to get this. I got it in October, been playing around with it a bit. And at first, it was a little odd just because I never had a hardware wallet before. And I think hardware wallets will operate differently depending on what kind they are. This one is a key. That's all it is. I wouldn't even call it a hardware wallet per se. I mean, if you think about a wallet, oh, and by the way, I just got this today. I haven't even put any cards in it yet. This is the holder, but Threads is really cool, and my wife had one, and so I started looking because I had one of those like Ridge wallets, but it was a fake Ridge wallet, a copycat, and it was putting holes in my pockets. So she suggested this, and I went on their website and found this thing for like, I don't know, I think it was $6 for this thing. So I was like, it's flannel, I have to have it. So I didn't just buy one, I bought two. And no, I didn't buy the company. If anybody remembers that commercial. So anyway, where was I? So it's not a wallet. Think about like a wallet with a key. So this Ellipal is the key to your wallet, while your wallet is in your phone. And so that's the key to your phone, so you can transact from your phone. So every time you want to make a purchase from your wallet, you better have the key to open it up. So that's one of the things. And there are a bunch of other things I'll go over that I also really, really liked about this particular wallet as I got to know it. But there are a couple things I'm going to go through tonight after we go over the features and things like that. But let's first go over a just general, not an unboxing, but just show you what comes in the package. And I need to share the correct screen because I was sharing a different screen. And there we go. All right. And yes, I have my trusty drink. Which I know usually gets a chuckle out of Chump. But anyway, so is the box that it came in. It was actually kind of cool. Even to be able to get underneath it, it has a nice little loop that you just pull out and you can get to underneath, which is where the other pieces were. But again, nice packaging. And obviously it came with the Ellipal. It also came with the dock, which is where you also put the SD card as well as the charging cable. Also came with a screen protector, a seed phrase sheet. It actually came with two. I filled out the other one already. And then just some brief instructions, which, I mean, come on, these days, who reads instructions from an instruction manual? Just give me a thing that has like a QR code with a link. That's all I need. But other people feel differently. So, but basically this is a charging cable that is not hooked up to my computer. So I can charge it via that. And then obviously just put it into the dock. Just have to make sure that you've got it lined up correctly. Otherwise it won't charge. So one of the things I'm going to go over in a little while is how to upgrade it. Since I have not done that yet, actually upgrade the firmware on it, since it does have an upgrade. I haven't seen anybody else do that in the video, so I want to go through that. It looked really, really simple, and hopefully we'll find out it is. It's actually the one thing that I know was in the package, and I can't find where it is, the actual micro SD card. But I had another micro SD card, so I'll actually be formatting that one as well. All right, let me switch back to my other screen. All right, thanks, Shides, for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good night. All right, let me switch back to the other screen. From scene and share the other. Who did? Oh, definitely never read instructions. Very funny, Freedom. I always read instructions. Well, most of the time I read instructions. I didn't read the instructions too much on this one, but there are definitely certain things I will read instructions on. All right, let me go back to, oh, that was the wrong thing. That was not what I wanted. No, I'm not going to show anything important. Well, yes, that came out wrong. I'm not going to be showing any wallet addresses or private keys or anything like that. Let's put it that way. That's what I meant to say. All right, let me go over to here and go to present. There we go. And then add to scene. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to highlight this and take me out of the picture. So there's a number of different things that Ellipal Titan 2.0 brought, and one is the advanced secure element. So this is an EL, it's actually on a future one, but there's it's level 5 security. I actually looked up level 5 versus level 6 because those are the two I hear about in the industry, and there really isn't much difference between the two, except for the fact that level 6 just costs more money in order to get certified, is pretty much all it is. Because I was like going back and forth, like, what is the difference between these two? And they're like, there's just more documentation and more certification. So it doesn't necessarily make it more secure. Okay. And heightened sensitivity, so a better screen. It from people that have had both, that I did watch a bunch of reviews online. So people who had both of them did see that this screen was an improvement over the previous one. And then it's just really, really solid. I mean, there's no openings. There's really no openings at all. The only contacts you have are down here, which these are data and charging contacts. But everywhere else, there's no USB port. There's no SD card port. So this thing is pretty impervious. So, okay, let me move on to the slide I really wanted to get to. Maybe. I was doing this to me earlier. Okay, there we go. This is the one I wanted. So these are really the features that attracted me to this. It's air gapped. I like the fact that it's air gapped. The way it works is when you are initially setting it up, you're downloading the wallets that are on the actual hardware wallet into your phone, into the app. Once you've done that, you can receive at any time. You don't have to rescan those QR codes again. You can receive at any time. It's when you transmit that you really need that security. Okay. So in that case, what you're going to do is you're going to initiate it from your phone, and then the phone's going to say, okay, scan the Ellipal, the QR code, and you're going to tap on that particular cryptocurrency, and it's going to come up with a QR code. And once you've scanned that, it's then going to reverse it, where now your phone's going to scan. I'm sorry. First thing is you hit it, and this thing scans your phone. Then the reverse happens, where the phone scans the Ellipal. Question Swamp7 says, can it hold ETH NFTs natively? That I believe so. I know they said it can handle up over 10,000 coins and tokens. Now it will link to like MetaMask and things and provide that same security. Remember, this doesn't hold anything. It is the keys. So if you set up, I believe, again, I am not an expert in MetaMask wallets or DeFi wallets, but my understanding is that once you set this up as the key, you have to scan this in order to be able to get your tokens out. So, but again, don't quote me on that one. But again, remember, this doesn't hold anything other than it provides the initial wallet addresses. And then after that, it is just literally the key. Okay. So the other thing is anti-tamper, anti-disassembly. So if anybody tries to get into this, it will wipe itself. Again, trustless trust. This is the QR code that I was mentioning before. And here's another great feature, and I really like this as well, is it has the ability to have 10 different types of accounts. So you can have 5 wallet accounts with a seed phrase or import, as well as 5 single accounts that are just private keys that are imported. So I like the fact that you can have a number of different accounts to set up. The other thing I loved about this is you have a secret secondary wallet. So if somebody gets a hold of you and says, hey, give me all your crypto, you can have a secret, maybe that you have only a little bit of crypto in, and have this secondary wallet, so that somebody can't get all of your crypto. We don't really think about, kidnapped, things like that, but those types of things, especially with that much money at stake, could happen. We all hope that, we eventually get to the point where we have to start worrying about that, I guess, where we have that much money in crypto. But that's just a really great feature for this particular device. And then the firmware updates are offline. So I will be downloading an update onto an SD card. In fact, I'm going to reformat the SD card first. I'm actually going to clean it first, then format it, and then download the updated to it. Once I've got that, I'll go through the process of updating the unit. I have not done this yet, so I'm looking to follow their instructions and see how it goes. But those are really the highlights. S. Chang says, what if the robber says, hey, give me everything on your secondary wallet? The idea is that the robber's not going to know that. This is the only one that I know of that has that feature. So that's why I said I thought that was a pretty unique feature. Isn't Tangent Well, yes, it is. And it has its own benefits. Tangent, I believe, has a level 6 security chip in it. And it doesn't require a battery. It's one of the downsides. If you can say it's a downside, is the fact that this has a battery in it, has to be charged. We all know what happens to lithium-ion batteries. They eventually die. So, you know, its advantage of the Tandem is that you don't have a battery. The disadvantage to it is the fact that it isn't air-gapped. It has a near-field chip in it that not all phones have, but quite a few phones have. So that's the other thing, is you got to make sure that your phone has that ability. Both, interestingly enough, I believe Tandem as well as Ellipal require a phone app. Some of the other ones do not. They have a computer app. Both of those do not. Both of them only have phone apps, as I understand it. Again, I'm not that fluent in Tandem, other than what I've seen from others that have posted videos. But that was my understanding of, you know, how you're going to put the near field chip next to your desktop computer or a laptop. I don't think they have, most of them don't have near field chips, I didn't think. Steven Citro said, my concern with Tandem is that they are shipping and the seal is broken, and Tandem said it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really comment on that, but I mean, it's, yeah, it's one of those things where there's risk in everything. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. There is risk in everything. And that's why I try to find a product that will reduce the risk. Again, could I still be fished and, you know, somebody say, hey, look, you know, I need this information because you have this new app. Like, for instance, if somebody came out and said, hey, great new feature for Ellipal, we now have a computer app, and it was in the Microsoft store, and I downloaded it, and there, of course, would ask me for my seed phrase, right? And I gave it to them. Guess what? That has happened. That happened last week with Ledger. Ledger Live. There was a Ledger Live app in the Microsoft store, and a number of people downloaded it and put in their seed phrases. $768,000 worth of crypto was stolen as a result of that hack. It wasn't up there for very long, but it was up there long enough. So, point being is, hardware wallets maybe are much safer, but they don't take the human element out of it. So you have to be ultra diligent in what you are doing with any of your crypto and with any of your cold wallets. So keep that in mind. All right. Any other questions before I go into the upgrade process? Because I really want to go through this and see if it's as easy as they say it is. I have more hardware wallets than GPUs. There are quite a few of them out there. In my hell, there's full channels that seem like they're only about hardware wallets. Crypto Dad. Hey, I thought I was Crypto Dad, but no, there's a guy who has Crypto Dad, has way more followers than I do. It's like 187,000, I think.
I told him if we get to 4,000, I'll put the tree up live.
Oh, I don't know if everybody heard that, but Sunflower Mama said if we get to 4,000 subscribers by the end, well, sometime during the stream, she'll start putting up the crypto tree or the Cryptmas tree.
Just be a live stream. Doesn't have to be today.
She said it doesn't have to be today, but she'll put it up via live stream. There you go. If that isn't motivation, I don't know what is, because I want the tree up. I want the tree up. All right. Any other things I should know about? Okay. She shook her head no. So, okay. All right. Well, let me start going with this update. So let me escape out of this and then go over to Ellipal, go over to support, go over to firmware update and the update tutorial. And this is what tells us how to do it. But even before I do that, I am going to go here and CMD command prompt. And I will say, oh, that was the wrong thing. I forgot to do it in, you'll see in a second, in run as administrator. That's what I wanted. Yes. Okay. There we go. Come on. Oh, I hate it when I get stuck going between screens. Okay. So now we need to do disk part. because right now we're clearing off this drive because it has multiple partitions in it. So I want to clear all the partitions off of it. So disk part. Yep, there we go. And list disk. And this is a 32 gigabyte SD card, micro SD card. So it is disk 3. I know what all those other 3 disks are. So no secrets there. So we want to do select disk 3 and then clean. And it's now clean. So now if I do list disk, you can now see that there's 29 gigabytes free, not 0, because it was a Linux disk before. So now that that is done, I can get out of that. I just do exit. Yeah, there we go. Get out of that screen. And then I want to go into, there we go. Go into that disk and do format. And yes, we want to do fat. Don't know why it says unknown capacity, but we're going to say, because we'll save this for this, call it Ellipal. Oop. Firmware. I'll just do, oh, I guess I can't put that many. Update. Yeah. We'll just call it Ellipal. And yeah, we'll just do quick format.
I just fixed.
I guess I could have done it that way, but I decided to do it this way instead. So yeah, somebody asked me, why didn't I just format it with CMD? Because I felt like doing it this way.
If having an issue updating an Acer's board's BIOS, try doing a format using Rufus to BIOS format. Should work fine. I don't know if that's in relationship to what you said.
Oh, I think that that may have more to do with fast. Let me probably wants me to take it out and put it back in. There we go. And let me get out of this. Let me try that again. I forgot that usually when you do that, it wants you to do that. But maybe not. We will see. Let's try it again. Interesting. Okay. Let's try doing it the way we were doing it before. And so this one is the E drive. No, not the E drive.
Try Rufus max voltage mining and crypto.
Yeah, I could do that because it's not coming up with a disk. I do have Rufus. All right, let me yeah, I know, and I could do a couple different things.
Did you put it in bridge mode?
Yashnik's not here to even say that. Of course. Why would it just via search just find it? Okay, there we go. Rufus 4.3. Yeah, I thought about that too. Let me go there because that's I'm gonna be a little bit more.
How many hawks are we up to?
We're nowhere near even one hawk. Come on, give me a break. There we go. Create and format hard disk partitions. There we go. Put that up here. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. No, I've got it. Okay. This, I believe. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. New simple volume. Yep. That's fine. Format. FAT32. There we go. Thank you, whoever suggested this. A lot easier. Thank you, Alejandro. Appreciate it. And Gordon Murray. All right. There we go.
JFK said, I just do it all with CMD.
All right. So that is now done. So now it's the G drive. And let's go back here. So it says this is the update. Before you update, go to settings, about. I already know. It is here. Let me get there on here. If it turns on, there we go. Hadn't turned it on yet. So it was truly off. Okay, just making sure my hands are off the screen. And then I go up to there and I go to update. Nope, that is not what I wanted. About, that's what I wanted. So yes, Titan is, you guys can read that. 3.9, not the best resolution in the world. Oh, you can't, I don't have that screen on? Oh, I guess I don't. Oh, that's right, because I was using that. Never mind. So we'll use that one. Oh, except that one's not on either. All right, let's undo that. Yeah, it certainly appears that way, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, right now I'm trying to update the Ellipal. That's what I'm doing. So this is what I wanted to show. So right now, come on, is 3.9. On this site, you can see that the current version is 3.11. And it says MetaMask connection and transaction signature supported. So obviously they made some changes there. So this is in need of an update. So the first step was double check to make sure that you in fact need an update, which I've now done. Update Ellipal Titan 2.0. So it says first thing, micro SD. The one that actually comes with the unit is pre-formatted already. Like I said, I needed to format it because I couldn't find what I did with that thing. So I used a different SD card. So that's already been done. Now, step 1, download update file. So we will go there. That has been updated. And interestingly enough, it doesn't say, here, let's see. Make sure save file. You can save it directly to the SD card. If you do not save it directly, copy the update file. Oh, I forgot. I keep changing. So make sure to save files so you can save it directly to the SD card. If you do not save it directly, copy the update file to the SD card. So I will go ahead and do that. In fact, one thing I need to do is I need to turn this back off. So I powered that off. What was that?
Said you'd keep talking.
Yeah, so I turned that off. That needs to be off when the process. So that much I do remember. And okay, so I download it, but I have to copy it over to the disk since I put it in downloads. So G's the disk, downloads, Ellipal. Oh, nope, that's not it. There it is. That's the one I need. 3.11. Put that one over. I did that. I waited too long. Come on. There we go. Now it should be copied over to G, and it is. Excellent. All right, so that part is done. Please do not change the name of the update file or unzip it. Keep it as it is. Ellipal Titan Plus version. So that's what I did. And I do not have a Mac, so I don't need to worry about that. Then connect adapter to Ellipal Titan 2.0. First things first, I just copied that, but I didn't take it out of there yet. So I need to take it out of the computer. And I'm sure I don't need to eject it, but I will do that anyway. There it is. Eject. That one. Yeah, I definitely don't want to eject my hard drive. That would be bad. All right. That is now ejected. Go ahead and grab it out of here. Okay. And have my handy dandy micro SD card. And so wish I could have both of these up at the same time, but I'm only allowed one screen share. So you can see where it says to put it in. So that's basically what I am doing. And I just did that. And it does stick out quite a ways, which is good. And then, so turn off the Ellipal 2.0. I did that already with just the adapter. Insert the SD card into the adapter, plug the USB cable in, which I am currently doing. And this is not one that's plugged into my computer. It is only plugged into a power source. With the SD card in the adapter and plugged in, connect the Ellipal 2.0 while it is off. As I mentioned, I did turn it off. So now I will put it in the dock. Now, oh, it wasn't quite in the dock. Now it's in the dock. You do have to be careful that the grooves are right so that it does make connection. Wait until the Ellipal shows a charging sign, which I'm waiting for. The Ellipal logo did come up. Well, it looks like. Let me try that again. Let me see here, because it. Okay, so it went right past the charging sign. It like didn't even turn itself off. So let me try this again. Because I literally had turned it off. Because if you hold down the button, there's a power off, just like you would with an Android. So you power it off. It's off. And I go to put it in. And it's telling me that I should see a charge. The last time the Ellipal logo just came up. Yeah, it started itself. So that's a change. As it's turning itself on. Bringing the unlock logo sign up. Then it is asking me step 3 to do the update. Select settings. There's a little, not wrench, but little nut in the upper left. Select update the Ellipal 2.0. Should recognize the update in examining the micro SD card. Examination failed. Please check the micro SD card or update file. All right, let me check something. Have it in backwards? I don't think so. I'm powering that back off. Oh, interesting. Not sure it was in all the way. I'll try it again. Not sure the SD card was in all the way is what I'm saying. So that may be why it failed. All right, let's see what happens this time. And if not, I'll try turning it around, but it seemed like it was clicking into place like I had the right orientation in the SD card. All right. Unlocking it, going to the little nut and clicked on update, examining micro SD card. Examination failed. Well, that's not good. That is disappointing. So I may have to find out what is wrong, but I'm going to try. Yeah, I've got it in backwards. Again, they didn't really show. Oh, yeah. Definitely in backwards. No, I didn't break it. Pretty sure anyway. Let's try it again. I mean, it seemed like it had like a click to it, so let's see if it does it this time. Because that didn't feel like it went in right, but it went in much further. Which makes me wonder if it went in the wrong side of the slot. Nope. Put it in the right way that time. Update file detected. Start update. And then it just says copying files. So yes, I just had it in backwards. So I guess it might be helpful to get orientation, because I'm thinking, as I'm looking at the dock, I'm thinking the logo on the SD card should be to the front. The logo actually should be towards the back. And I don't see where it says, just says insert SD card into the adapter. It doesn't give any clue on the orientation of it. But got it right now. It's updating. It's at 39%. So that's a little bit of feedback for them. Again, minor and easy to figure out after the first time. I won't make that mistake again. I can't imagine we're going to need to update this that often, but maybe once or twice a year. And then it says select update, did that. It will start extracting the update file automatically. Please wait, don't disconnect the adapter. It can take about 1 minute. After extraction is fixed, start update. So it did like immediately. It didn't take any time at all. Wait about 3 minutes and the update is finished. Note the Ellipal Titan 2.0 may act like turning on and off during the process. Please don't worry and don't touch it. So I will not touch it. Oh, here, maybe I should have gone down a little bit further. And there was a video, and it probably would have told me which direction the card needed to go in, how much you want to bet. So here's someone that reads the instructions but doesn't watch the video. It says, make sure the card is formatted FAT32, which I did. Make sure the SD card has been emptied and has only one update file on it. I did that. Make sure the SD card has been plugged into the adapter totally. And then lastly, make sure the Ellipal 2.0 device is being charged during update, which it is. And just out of curiosity, I really want to see. No, it's not going to actually show it here. I have to actually go over to you. No, there it goes. We're going to turn off that. Prepare blank micro SD card, did all that. I want to see him actually put it into, all right, let's see. Yeah, well, I guess you can see the logo is facing towards the back as it puts it in. So you can actually tell that if you're paying attention to it, and you can see like the little notch is towards the middle, when the way I originally put it in, the notch was towards the outside. So it does show the correct orientation. So if you are trying to figure that out, it is good enough that you can actually tell, and you can see that it goes all the way into the unit, as opposed to the way it was sticking out. So update successful. Sweet. So again, nice simple process. And now I go up to about. Now I am on. Here, hang on. Let me highlight myself here. There we go. And now, come on. Focus. 3.11. There we go. How's if I put it in the middle? So it's been updated. So again, pretty simple process. Yes, I had a little hiccup in the middle of it because didn't know which way the SD card was to be oriented. But once I got that right, the process was very simple. Just got to make sure you follow those instructions. So anyway, like I said, I love this thing. When I actually wrote down a few notes. So what I liked the level of security, as I mentioned, the level 5. I liked air gap along with the password. So all of those things put together, just saying it's level 5 security all by itself, yes, that's great. But having the other things there as well is like additional levels of security above and beyond that. So it's not one of the reasons why I really liked that it's hardened, and then again, really easy to use screen to interact with. And things I kind of worried a little bit about is the battery. So that's the thing, is how long is that battery actually going to last? In 2 years, am I going to have to replace my Ellipal? I don't know. I mean, phones, they're dead pretty quick, but at the same time, how often do you actually interact with your hardware wallet? So maybe since you're not charging it as often, probably isn't as big of a deal. What I'm probably going to do with mine is I'm going to leave it off the charger. I'll basically have it be completely charged, and I will turn it off. And that way, because the thing that kills batteries is the number of charging cycles. It has a set number, no, not a set number. It has an approximate amount of charging cycles that a battery can go through. So if you can minimize the number of charging cycles, that's going to be much better for any device that you're using. Obviously, on a day-to-day use, you can't really do that with your phone because you interact with it all the time. But with a hardware wallet, maybe you're only going to interact with it, I don't know, once a month, maybe at the most. And one charge might be able to get you 3 months of interacting with it in that way. So, and it does actually have in the instructions is, if you haven't used it for a long period of time and the battery's dead, charge it straight for 12 hours and it'll be fine. So there are things in there that make sure that it can be rejuvenated if you run the battery dead. You never want to run the battery dead, so you probably want to check it every once in a while. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye on it. I want to see if I turn it off and I turn it off in a week, or turn it back on in a week, how much battery is left on it, that type of thing, so I can get an idea of how long it will last with it off. So, alrighty, guys. That's all I got for the Ellipal. Any questions on that? Ted said that SD card might not be the right speed for that read and transfer. Well, like I said, it worked just fine. It worked really well once I had the SD card oriented the correct way. It went in much further. So, oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. Rondi, good to see you, sir. Bring back the Christmas tree. It's the Cryptmas tree. Not the Christmas tree, the Cryptmas tree. If we get 4,000 subscribers, Sunflower Mama will do it live. I don't know when, but within the next week, she will do it live. Otherwise, it'll just magically show up. But you'd like to see the process. She has a process. All right, Retro Mike. The Foundation Passport hardware wallet allows you to swap the rechargeable battery with regular AAAs. Would be nice if more hardware wallets adopt that style. Yeah, I did notice that. I think it's like Keynote or something like that. That is a cool feature. I'm again not having. Again, this isn't a phone, so we really shouldn't be having to recharge it that often. There's no reason to leave this thing on. It's not getting any notifications. It's a key. You turn on the key when you need to use it. You take your key out of your pocket when you need to use it. You don't hang on to your keys all day in your hand. You put them in your pocket. Same thing idea with this is that there's really nothing much to interact with unless you're adding coins to it or you are selling tokens. If you're receiving tokens, you don't need this. If you're receiving new tokens, yes, you do need this because you need to have it set up along with the wallet, and you'll have to scan the new barcode. But yeah, that's really the key with this. It shouldn't need to be on that much. So would expect the battery to last much, much longer than a phone. So we'll see. But it is kind of cool that, yes, you have that nice backup. But with that backup, then the detachable battery, then you have issues of, could you put this thing in water? I mean, it's sealed. This sucker's sealed. I don't know what kind of dust rating or waterproof rating it has, but I mean, there's like, I can't even find, I mean, you go around the screen, I think it's the only way that you'd be able to like get into this thing. It's one solid piece. So Joker Miner says, where are my FE boxes in the background? They're not your FE boxes. They're my FE boxes, and decided to change it up a bit and make it a little bit less busy back there. We got a new shelf back there. Sunflower Mama was like, hey, can we get rid of that other thing we have in the background with the wire shelves and actually get a real shelving unit back there? I'm like, sure. So hopefully you guys like it. I think it looks a little bit simpler and a little bit cleaner. I had a lot of stuff in my background before, with Ryzen boxes and the FE boxes and just a lot of other stuff back there. So hope you guys like it. All Set says that's cool. I need to go back to the poll. That's a really good question. I was wondering about that. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, excuse me. I thought Sunflower Mama bought them cards. Well, she did, but she bought them for me. So there you go. They're my cards. They're my boxes. Trust me, she'd rather probably see them gone at this point. We have so many boxes, but yeah. Let's see. Is it waterproof? Yes, S Cheng. Let me see if I can find that. I don't know if it technically is. Let me see here. It says disassembly and anti-tamper. Let's see, technical specifications. I want physical specifications. And it is not in their FAQs. So I'm guessing since they don't say it, it probably isn't technically waterproof, probably because they don't have the seal between the screen and the case that would be necessary in order to make it waterproof. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how long it would last in water. I'm not going to test it though. Definitely not going to test it. All right. Let's see what other comments. Okay. All right. Well, gosh, I've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll have to definitely edit that down to a real video for the Ellipal review type of thing. But no, I really like this. This is going to be the one I stick with. In fact, right now I'm going to turn it off because I've already input all of the wallet addresses that I need at this point. And if I want to move any coin to that wallet, which I eventually will do slowly, just kind of making sure everything works well, then yeah, I don't really, until I need to move things out. And I have tested that. It works fine. I haven't had any issues with it. Nice and easy to use. It probably isn't quite as easy to use as a Tangent wallet, but I think this is more secure than a Tangent wallet, in my opinion. So there's always going to be a trade-off between convenience. Heck, it's really convenient to leave all your crypto in an exchange, right? Really just ready for you to sell it at any given time, at any given whim, you can sell it. So why don't we just all keep our crypto in an exchange? We know why. Not your keys, not your crypto. So if you're going to do it, where you're going to put it in a hardware wallet, why wouldn't you do it in such a way that it's as secure as it can possibly be? So that's my thought. All right. Let's see. Gaming with Smoking Dan says, I want to know if I can take it scuba diving. Atlantis takes crypto now. Oh, gotta love it. And Steven Cicero says, good idea. Rondi, find out from the electric company if you can do more than 200 amps, add another panel. Yeah, it's interesting. I know right now I've only got a 100 amp panel in my house. Okay. Let me see. What else did I say I wanted to talk about tonight? I know there were a few more things. talked about, I guess I did talk about it. I talked about the Ledger Live scam. Again, because that could happen to any setup. Like, again, Ledger didn't have a app in the Microsoft Store, I don't think, and somebody put it in there, and I don't know exactly how people became aware of it, but they did, and lo and behold, some people downloaded it and got scammed out of it. So be very, very careful with your hardware wallets. Just because it's a hardware wallet does not mean that human interaction can make it unsecure. That's really the message there. And then what else? There was something else. I went over that. Oh, what was that? Oh, FEs are not for sale. Not for sale. I like staying married. What was that?
Get to 4,000 subscribers.
Everything, I guess, is about getting to 4,000 subscribers, because I guess all of a sudden Sunflower Mama's like, sure. No, we're not selling the FEs.
I'll even sign.
Sunflower Mama did say that if we do sell them, she will sign it. So there you go. So the other thing was Lokotech. We obviously had that interview over the weekend, and I did not go out to DC. So I know, because I wasn't invited. Yes, I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to make it out like I wasn't. Anyway, yes, I wasn't invited, and that's perfectly fine. I had never met these guys before. A bunch of these guys met them at Mining Disrupt. And anyway, my point was that this was the first chance I had to talk to them, and I had a different set of questions than what other people were asking. And so I thought, okay, we'll really get to see if these guys know what they're talking about, because they had never talked about the manufacturing of the units. And so I threw these questions at them, and they had all the right answers. They really did. There were things about manufacturing that if you're not in it, you probably wouldn't know the answers to them. Having alternate bombs or alternates in your bomb is huge in electronics manufacturing. He even talked about having alternate pinouts, alternate designs, which I found fascinating. Yes, that does make a difference, because just because two things do the same thing doesn't mean they're going to have the same pinout or even the same layout. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And then he talked about the fact that, yeah, he has a number of places he can get in line. He's not making that many. So to find a small window to get in with a manufacturer wouldn't be super hard. And that is true. The fact that almost all of it, except for the power pins, is pick and place. So the power pins is pick and place, but it's done via wave. And depending on where you go, the wave may be a separate process, but that's where they actually use solder. So there's a mask that goes on a PCB, so that when you do the pick and place, you then put it through an oven, and all of those locations where they have pads, when it goes through the oven, it's soldered in place. Okay, basically it's fixed in place. If you have a full solder where you have a through hole placement, yes, it's pick and place. It'll place it in the right spot. But at that point, you have a wave that goes underneath. The one thing I did forget to ask him, I just thought about it now, is if it's a double-sided or a single-sided board, because that can also make a big difference. He did talk about it being flipped. So I have a feeling that they have a double-sided board, which again means you have to kind of do it twice. So it's a little bit lengthier process. Most boards these days are double-sided. One side will be a lot more simple than the other one, but again, it does add a little bit to the complexity of it. But anyway, I thought the guys were very genuine. They answered all of our questions. We were all skeptical about Ice River. We all thought it sounded really fishy because it was too good to be true, right? But yet, what happened? They came out and it was there. Could Lokotech be doing the same thing? Yes, they could. What's their track record? Yeah, they developed something and they realized that it wasn't going to meet the market needs, and therefore didn't roll out the product. That's their story. So the fact that this is the next product, like, fool us once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So do you kind of still trust them or not? I don't know. So that's the dilemma. That's obviously the dilemma. Am I putting in a pre-order? No, I'm not putting in a pre-order. I will kind of wait and see. I would definitely want to see a little bit more proof along the way, but I believe that there are those that are going to put in pre-orders because they're risk takers. You guys all know me. I'm not a huge risk taker. So yeah, I will wait and see and probably miss some of the boat because I will definitely not be in the first batch. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it will be exciting to watch this company as it develops. I'm sure they will keep us all informed as to where their progress is. And yeah, it could be delayed. It could come on early. We'll see. Cincy Miner says, I believe he said there were no components on the back side of the board. Oh, okay. So a single-sided board. He talked about flipping over of the board. So that's why I thought maybe there were components on the backside, but that's good actually, because that really will speed up the process. And because setting up a pick and place is a really pretty simple process depending on how many components you've got. But considering they're reproducing the same tile, well, one of them was the same tile and then they have the separate compute tile, but those other tiles are doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So a lot of the components will be similar. So you can use the same roll to do all those placements as opposed to having, there's been some that have like 200 different components on the same board. I don't think this one is going to be that complicated where it's going to have that many different components. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, I'd love to see, the process of this board getting made. Miss that industry that I used to be in. So Gaming with Smokey Dan asked, I was wondering what the ledger scam was, as just set mine up and made sure would get transfers, then left it. I used the app on my PC I got from the Ledger site. Yes, that's the key. You got it from the Ledger site. Don't get it from the Microsoft store. Now, it's been taken down, but where you get things from, you have to be very, very careful. So that was the scam. Somebody put up a fake live Ledger app, and it asked for your seed phrase. And once it got your seed phrase, it sucked all the crypto out of that wallet. So $768,000 was lost due to this scam. Cincy Miner says, believe he said, oh yeah, you already said that. Or I already read that. Game of Swing Den says, I know he was saying about adding heat sinks on the back for cooling, but wouldn't be needed as we'll have holes for placements of heat sinks. Here's the thing. We're focused so much on the heat. Engineers can say one thing, and when it comes right down to it, it might be something else. Board designs are one thing, and then the actual result can be a little bit different. They might have to do a little tweaking here and there, and one of them might have to do with heat. So it'll be really curious to see how that comes out. Hopefully they will run it in a number of situations, one in completely still air, and see how well it dissipates heat away from the board. That's what I'm really curious about. Anybody can put a fan on it or put it in a case that has a fan going through it. So I don't know. I personally, if I get a couple of these, I'm going to put them in an open air rack and I'm going to have fans blowing on them. So, just basically from the front of the rack to the back. So that's my thought on it. And that should be enough to keep it cool enough. Just looking to see if there are any other comments. Oh, I started to pull it up. What was the final result? Oh my gosh, it's a tie. A tie between 8 o'clock and 8:30. Seriously. Well, maybe what I will do, since there are more towards 7:30 than 9, maybe I'll do 8:15. Well, keep your eyes open. Probably do 8:15 next week. See how that works. And we'll go from there. Let's see what else. T-Gig said 8:15. Yeah, it's probably what I'm gonna lean towards next week. Sunflower Mama says the earlier the better. Yeah, she likes to go to bed early. Typically, this is not quite past her bedtime. Well, actually, probably is past her bedtime tonight. She's got to work tomorrow. All righty, guys. Well, I will call it a night. It has been. She's a substitute teacher, so she just said those kids aren't going to substitute themselves. Probably like to, but they ain't going to do it. All right, I'm going to end that poll. We now have the official results, which is a tie. An absolute tie. Can you believe it? Never would have guessed that. Alrighty, guys. Again, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Next Monday, same. Well, I won't say same bad time because I'll probably try to be 15 minutes earlier next week. So same bad channel though. So we will see you guys next week. And the general is out.